Das Meeting wird per Livestream übertragen, das sieht gut aus.
Yeah.
Meeting streamt jetzt live auf YouTube. Prima.
Yeah,
Super.
I said okay, yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay. So now we can let the people in.
Yes.
Now we can let the people in. Hello, hello, everybody.
Hjärtligt
Hello,
välkommen.
hello, hello. Okay, so that looks very nice. Hello and good evening to everybody.
Guten Abend. Hello.
So now, that's
Abend.
nice.
Mhm.
Hallo! Schön, dass du da bist. Okay. Ihr müsst heute nicht. Hallo, Micha. Hallo, mein Lieber. Ihr müsst heute nicht. You don't have to show your faces today. We just decided you can be anonymous. Hallo, Marina. Schön, dass du da bist. You can stay anonymous, but I mean, of course, we would appreciate it if you showed your face, but you don't have to.
Absolutely.
Today, that's unusual for my spaces or Zooms or live streams. Men are allowed in. That's thanks to Hibo. Hibo said everybody can listen, and so
Why
everybody
not?
can listen.
Why not? Come and join us. You might
don't.
learn a thing or two.
Yeah,
Especially
that's
if you're
true.
a man.
That's true.
Especially if you're a man. Mhm.
Exactly. So there should be more men than women, really, because they need more education than we do.
Oh, they do. Big time.
So, yeah, thank you very much for being here already. I mean, some of you are missing. I did the registration thingy, which I usually don't because I wanted to know how many people will be here. If my technical equipment here will be able to handle it. Up to now, everything runs fine. I'm very happy about that. Thank you very much, Hibo. Hibo, last week, she dropped in my YouTube, my ex, what's it called, stream,
Yeah.
in my space and listened, and I couldn't believe that I saw her. And I said, oh, well, we started talking a bit. And she said, oh, I want to come to you. I want to talk to the German, and everybody who wants to be here wants to talk about FGM because, well, of course, we know that's the issue. And
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy that we could find a date so soon. And now we're here, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I am. Thank you, Hibo, for being here. And
Thank you very much for having me.
yeah, and I'm very happy that so many people are interested. I will have a quick look on YouTube, how many people are there. Because that's interesting if they are, oh my God, it's just the one that I'm looking. Because at the moment it's set on private. I don't know why. That's not supposed to be like that. Because nobody can join them. I hope that I can.
Technical issue, you can sort it out.
Yeah, I hope so. There's always something, Hibo. It's amazing. There's always something.
You think sometimes even technology has something against us. It literally is. Sometimes you think like, what have I done to you? But it does. It does happen that.
It should be. It actually says weird because it says it's open. I don't
10
understand.
viewers.
You can see it? Oh,
Yes.
good. Okay, then I will just relax and hope everything's okay. Let's see. 10 viewers, okay. But where's the is there a chat? I want the chat. Oh, Sven.
There's a
Tabak.
chat on
There's a
YouTube.
chat. Hello. Okay, so that's wonderful. What do you think? There aren't so many people there yet. There are 10 on YouTube, and the people who are here. Would you like to wait 5 minutes, or do you just
Of
want to
course we
start?
can. Of course we can. We've got plenty of
Maybe
time. We've
some
got
people
plenty
are
of
a
time.
bit. You know that Germany is playing today, which I didn't know.
Oh my God, I hope
Yes.
they win. No, I don't actually watch football really. I really don't. I only watch when the World Cup is playing. And
Yeah.
I only support Brazil because they make football look sexy. They romanticize the ball and, they play with it. They don't just kick it like others do, especially in England. So I have got no clue about football, but I watch a World Cup. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
last
still
time
a draw. It's still 1-1 between Spain and Germany.
it's
So
going to go into extra
Still
time, isn't it?
1-1.
Because they are amazing. I think it's finishing now. They're going to go to extra time because one of them has to
they,
go home today.
they already are in extra time, and it's like
Oh, wow.
99
It's
minutes
gonna-
have passed.
30 minutes. If none of them score, it's going to go into penalties. And that is no good thing for anyone.
Well, the Germans always win.
I do hope they win, though. German play
No, but
amazing
they
football.
haven't. Apparently, they haven't won against Spain for 38 something years. So
Yeah, my whole household right now is watching downstairs and they're all supporting German.
okay. No,
Yeah.
well, but the only I didn't even want to talk about football. I just wanted to talk about that people are
Watching
probably watching football
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
don't get their bums up here.
It's all right.
So
We've got plenty of time. We can talk about other things rather than football.
yes.
What would you like to talk about?
I would like all of you to
Yeah.
put the link in the on X and distribute the link to this YouTube so that people are reminded that something's happening. Thank you, Michael.
I just shared it again on Twitter, and
Yeah,
someone, like 2 or 3 people shared it, but they didn't register yet, obviously.
everybody is watching football.
What did I just do? Where are you all
I'm
going?
afraid. You're right.
Well, anyway, this will be and we will have a recording, and so people can watch it afterwards. It's just a bit sad if they can't ask questions to you, because to all those who came well later than us talking, Hibo is very open to answer any question about the topic, and don't feel shy and just ask away, but only after she has done her introduction. We will get a PowerPoint presentation, and after that we will talk a bit, and then you can ask questions. You can ask them personally, or you can write them down in the chat, and someone will look after that, and we will answer the questions from there. Sorry?
No, it's just giving me I'm in my daughter's room, so it's giving me if I want to do, what do you call it? What is this thing called? Background? I don't even know how I got there. This is what I mean. I shouldn't be touching nothing. Can you see me though?
Yeah, we see you perfectly.
Okay, perfect. I'm not gonna touch anything then. That's it. Yeah, I'm trying to adjust. Oh my God, my laptop. Why did my laptop go off? You know, I'm experiencing one of those things where everything tries to go off. Last week it was simultaneously my washing machine and my what do you call it? My gas cooker stopped working.
Oh no, it's always 3 things.
Go. Yeah, in one
you
go.
know that it's always 3 things. Hibo, wait for the next one. Sorry.
That's all right. Okay.
Okay.
So.
And to my team, whoever is out there and hears me, please post the child with Hibo's donation thingies that I posted before. Can you please distribute that on X so that people will donate for her well, gracious gift to us.
Yeah, we have a charity, which it will be lovely. If people can afford to donate, it will be absolutely a welcoming present, which will absolutely accept it. It just makes my work much more easier than it is already. Yeah. It's just this work is really hard. I think all the women who do a lot of humanitarian work, I feel your pain. I feel your pain when it comes to funding and all that. It really is hard. So I do understand that. How do I get out of it? Get away from me, please. How do I get you out?
Where's Nisa now?
It wants me to
there.
do
There. Okay, I see you.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see me now as well still?
Yeah. You are fine. I just didn't see Nisa.
Okay. Nisa went
Yeah,
incognito.
Incognito,
went,
exactly.
Yeah,
We see Freya. That's actually lovely.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's almost a quarter past.
Yeah.
Let's wait till 15. And
That's fine.
then I would just, that's 2 minutes. And then I would just say, take it away. Do your whatever you want to do, your PowerPoint presentation, talk about yourself, and whatever you would, please take it away.
Okay. What do I need to talk about? So I'm actually very much excited for today, and the ice cream man is passing, as you can hear. Very much excited. Somebody who loves women all over the world where you are, and I always feel like we benefit from each other, whether it's our differences, race, color, religion, sex orientation, whatever you name it. We always surpass that as women, and we can always connect as women. And I love that unique power that we have that brings us all together. I absolutely love that. And wherever I can, I like to talk to other women. I like to find out what they're doing, get involved with them, do, events with them and things like that. So for me, I am very, very open person, really open person. And I like that. I am trying to get off this thing because it keeps on going dark. I don't know why.
I don't know either.
It is really weird because I don't want any filters, but it keep on asking me choose a filter, and I'm like, no, I don't want. So, wow. Okay.
You don't have to, but that's now. That's nice now. You've got this blurry filter. That's fine. Don't touch it anymore.
Okay, perfect.
So now we only see your beauty and nothing else. That's fine.
Okay, what happened now? Come on.
What happened now? Good idea.
I don't know. It just keeps, this is what I mean. It's just like it's stuck on this, and I say go back. It's not going back.
What happens if you don't touch it? You just don't touch it.
Okay, that's perfect.
Just leave it there. We can see you properly. We can hear you properly.
Perfect.
Just don't touch it,
that's brilliant.
Take it as wonderful.
So yeah, and I would love to visit Germany as well. Germany is the only European country so far I haven't visited, and Sweden. The rest I have seen. So I would love to. Yeah, I would love to come there.
Okay, so let us know when you're coming.
we
can probably arrange something.
Yeah, I would love to because I also got a nephew who was studying at Ukraine when the war happened, and he fled to Germany, and he's in Berlin, and he was studying medicine. He became a doctor, and he's staying in Germany now. So there's much. Also, I really need to see him because I've never seen him before. So he was born when I left. So it'll be lovely to come and see him as well. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Where did you say does he live?
Berlin.
In Berlin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit distracted because I do multiple things at the time. Okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay,
least.
so I
Uh-huh.
think we could start now properly, as in now you talk about you, FGM,
Okay.
your work, whatever you want to do your
Mhm.
presentation as you see fit, and
Okay.
we listen and
Okay.
take it away.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hartelijk welkom. So, wow. Welcome again. So, my name is Hibo Wardere, as you or most of you know. I am a human rights activist, feminist. What can I say? UK people call me Gobi Shite because I talk a lot. I talk because I talk about things that concern women and girls, any issues that concern women and girls. I always talk about and I get involved. I am also a survivor of female genital mutilation, one of the worst forms of violence against women and girls, especially children. FGM happens under the age of 10, and I was 6 years old when I was mutilated. So I have become an activist for at least now 12 years to 13 years, I would say. And it's something that I never dreamt that I'll be talking in a global sense the way I am right now. I never thought I will do that. I was one of those people who let this, violence silence me for decades. And it took a 10-year-old girl's case to make me talk. And when I did that, I never looked back. I just kept on talking. And when somebody who has undergone such a horrific, cruel trauma as a childhood finds a way to talk about this, there's no silence in that person, no matter what happens. You talk. It doesn't matter what people throw at you, what your community throw at you, what others don't know you throw at you. It doesn't matter. You just feel you're justified to talk about your own trauma. And that is how we all began. We began working with the UK government. They listened to us survivors. They changed the law. They changed how women are dealt with, especially when they're pregnant, because that's the most likely time a woman will say that she's been cut because she's pregnant now. So we changed the whole of the pregnancy approach, how women are delivered, because when I was delivered, it was horrific. And I suffered quite a lot because at that time, 1991, when my son was born, they didn't know anything about FGM. So I embarked on becoming an activist, accidental activist, and I have never looked back. I have written a book called Cut, One Woman's Fight Against FGM in Britain Today, which is a great book that's become part of the midwifery teaching in UK. I traveled to so many universities, especially for midwifery, and I teach almost every school you can think of that gets in touch with me. And I've taught thousands. I deliver training for the police, for the healthcare, for the education department, for everywhere. So I do quite a lot. I do a lot of social media work as well. It's all to do with highlighting this horrific abuse. I want everybody to know what this is. I just don't want you to know. I want you to feel my emotions when I'm talking about. I want you to be with me on my journey. I want you to feel me as a child, what was happened to me, and to know that as we speak today, over 11,000 girls have been mutilated globally. So it's not only about teaching, it's about making you come to this journey as a human being to feel what we went through and to see how you can get involved. So I'm all about that. And today I am going to be sharing you with a presentation. And I have to give a little bit of warning because a police officer fainted when he saw illustrated pictures of vagina. And I was like, what the heck? Did you just faint from illustrated? I was fuming, and I'm thinking in my head, if he sees a real vagina, does that mean he's going to die? As a police officer, you're supposed to see all sorts of cruelty. So for me, I was fuming, but then I have to give warning. But it's only illustrated pictures. These pictures are purely educational purpose for you to actually see what they're doing to the girls. And I hope you can ask me as many questions as you have. I'm a very open person. I don't shy away from any question that you have. I will always answer to my best. So without further ado, we can start the presentation. Huh, is it coming up? I can't see nothing. Why can I
Yeah,
not see?
it's there. What is
See, this is what I
FGM?
meant. There's a something. Okay, what did I do? There's something that is not letting me go back to where I was. And okay, oh, now I'm back. Good. I don't know what I did. Thank God what I did. So what is FGM? So FGM stands for female genital mutilation. Other names known for it is female genital cutting, female genital cut, or the one that our communities love to say it because in their head it makes them feel this is not barbaric, this is not cruel, it's just part of our life and our culture. And this name makes them feel good. It's not bad in their head. And this name is female genital circumcision. So what is it? What is it? There it says female FGM compromises all procedures involving partial or total removal of external female genitalia or other injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. It has no health benefits and harms girls and women in many ways. And oh my goodness, does it harm you? It harms everything about you. I mean, like, when people ask me, can you put it into words how it affects you? I can only say it's like your soul is being scratched. That's how deep this thing goes. It involves removing and damaging a healthy, normal female genital tissue and hence interferes with the natural functions of girls' and women's body. Natural functions. Listen to those words. It actually does that in such a magnitude that you feel like, wasn't I not born to feel things? Wasn't I not born to enjoy things? Wasn't my body made for all those things? Why was it taken away? There's loads of questions, and I will answer most of them for you because you will come to understand why do they do this. Now, this is where I'm going to be showing the illustrated pictures of the genitalia and what they do. And I have 3 types to show you. There are types on how communities actually mutilate their girls. Literally, there are types, and they are quite crazy. Now, type 1 is called clitoridectomy. It's either total or partial removal of clitoris. And you can see the picture number 1, they colored the clitoris parts green. Type 2 is called excision, and it's picture number 2. You can see it's either total or partial removal of clitoris, and some of the labia minora is removed, some of the labias are removed. Picture 3, however, you can see the green color is everywhere. And this is what is type 3 called. The next one. It's called infibulation. Infibulation. And this is total, like they've removed the clitoris, they've removed the labias, whatever skin is left, labia minora, labia majora is removed. Whatever skin is left, if you look at it very carefully, picture 1 and picture 3, you can see immediate difference between them. Now, picture 1 and 2, you can see clearly they've stitched up, they've used the needles and the stitching, and they've done, threads, and they've done that. But if you look very carefully in picture 1 and picture 3, first of all, you see a difference between the vagina hole. Now, picture 1, that looks like it's a big vagina hole. It's actually not. It means if she goes to toilet, it comes out as a quick droplets. When she urinates, it comes out quick droplets. Picture 3, however, the vagina hole is so small, it's like a tip of the matchstick. And that means when this girl goes to toilet, it comes out as a slow droplet, which means she will need more than 10 minutes. Some of the girls have said 20 minutes it takes them just to urinate. You can also see the stitching clearly on the other 2 pictures. Picture 3, you can't see stitching. But if you look at it very carefully on the sides, there are holes there almost. This means when the cutter does not have needles on threads to stitch you up, she will actually use thorns to pierce from one side to the other. And those thorns stay there until this wound heals up. And you can see in this picture 3, there's about 10 to 11 holes. That means ladder. It's like a ladder of thorns staying there until you heal up. I said earlier, I am a survivor of this. I was mutilated when I was 6 years old, and I experienced type 3, and my one was stitching. And there's no words to describe what was that like. Literally, there's no words to describe that. And I will explain that as we go along. Type 4 is, it's all other harmful procedures, especially in UK. If you're in UK, you're not allowed to do all these things to your genitals unless it's for medical purpose. Things like piercing, pricking, incising, scraping, and cauterizing the genital area. If you're under 18 under the United Kingdom law, you're not allowed to do anything unless it is medically purpose. Type 5 is called the labioplasty. Now, here is, this word makes me want to go, oh, because there's other word no for it. Vagina designer. And I'm thinking, what the hell do you need to design your vagina for? It's already designed beautifully. Why do you need it? This is where famous people, unfortunately, that know they are role model to young girls, actually say, this is good because, you know, I'm trimming up my labias, I'm trimming up my vagina hole, you know, I've had kids. When I'm having sex, I might feel saggy baggy, I want a friction. But they never explain that when you tamper with a natural functioning organ, there was always going to be complications. It is a FGM, but they disguise it in a different name. And we lobbied the government here, and the government has made it, if you're under 18, you can't have labioplasty, because labioplasty is taking a storm in America and it's mostly under 18, and we didn't want that to come here as well. Next. I hope I'm going slowly for you to follow me. So how is it performed? So now they're asking here is, how is FGM performed? Now, I told you earlier, I was 6 years old when I was cut. They gave me a beautiful party. I was given all sorts of presents. There was no male inside. It was all females. I mean, like 6 years old, you're given gorgeous party, you're given amazing dresses. Nobody tells you what is it for, but you're told you're going to be brave, you're going to be a woman, you're going to be beautiful. You don't know all those things. You're just happy that you're getting all these presents. They never once tell you what's going to happen to you the next day after that. Because the next day comes, I was led into this makeshift hut that my mom and Auntie Prior made it. And in there, what took place is what changed my life. In there, I was literally butchered alive. My legs were held apart so tight that before they even touched my genitals, I actually felt they were going to pull away my legs from my, the joints. I actually felt that. And then all of a sudden, people that you don't know are holding you. Your parents, my mother was there, my auntie was there. They're holding you down. And then all of a sudden, somebody that you've never met and you don't know, and it's not part of your family, is actually touching your genitals. Before she even did anything, I'm already screaming. I'm already saying to my mom, why? And all of a sudden all I remember is her opening her bag and razors falling out. And they were dirty, horrific razors. As I grew up, I've realized they all looked horrible brown shades on them. And I didn't understand what that was until I became older. And that is a rusty, dirty razors. And she takes it, and she had 2 nails on her index finger and on her thumb. And I never understood why she never had no nails on other hands, but those. And those were so long. And it turns out those were kind of pincers for her. She clipped the clitoris on that and pulled it. And I thought she actually took the clitoris off. I actually thought she cut the clitoris off by pulling it that hard. And when the razors came and she just chopped it off, my whole body went engulfed on fire. It's as if like I was, somebody put petrol from head to toe and just lit me up. And that's how I felt. And I screamed and screamed. And I remember just begging and saying, I'm dying and help me. And remember, there's no anesthesia. No anesthesia. This is happening with no anesthesia. I am absorbing every little pain that is going through my body. And what is worse about this point is you're screaming and your body's in shock. Your body's absorbing this. And then there's another cut and there's another cut. And you are just trying to scream, but you just feel like you can't breathe through this pain. It's horrific. And it was a nightmare. It was a gruesome nightmare because I can see what this lady is doing. I can see every time she cuts something, she just throwing like a piece of, dead meat on the floor. She's throwing, and I can see her both hands literally dipped in blood. I am just 6 years old. 6 years old. And I am screaming and screaming and begging. And within minutes, my voice was gone, utterly gone because of the screaming. And after that, what they do is they take pieces of clothes and they start to mummify you from waist down so that you don't move. And there's a hole next to you. So they physically have to pick you up, put you on that hole so that you urinate like that. And on top of that, you have a pain day and night that goes on and never stops. Even when you're sleeping, you feel it. And then they don't feed you properly. And then you have these two things going on until you heal up. Mind you, you can get infections, you can get all sorts of things while you're healing up. It was a nightmare that changed my life, and everything that day completely, utterly was turned on its head. Now, wounds held together with stone, as I explained to you, picture 3, the way they did that, and mummify you from waist down until you heal up. Next. Short-term implication means immediately after a girl is cut. What could be the major thing that can cause death? Well, hemorrhaging is one of the biggest killers of the girl. In our communities, when a girl is hemorrhaging, they don't take her to the hospital. They use their own herbal things to stem the flow of the blood, and they hardly take her to hospital. If a girl is taken to the hospital, most likely she's already dying and nothing doctors can do for her. Severe pain and shock can cause death. Oh my God, as I explained pain earlier, that alone has a capability to cause a cardiac arrest for you because your body isn't made to withstand that sort of pain in such a quick successions. It's horrific. And one of the first things that I realized was when I tried to urinate, I realized, oh my God, it isn't coming out properly. And the first drop came up, it looked like somebody took a hot chili and rubbed on the wound. So I didn't want to urinate because it was too awful to do that. And because of the damage they done to you as well, you don't have the urge, you don't feel the urge to urinate, and that can cause a lot of problems because you could end up with having so many other infections. So it does cause urinary retention. Injury to adjustment tissues means, my God, you try to fight back. Even 6-year-old me, I tried to close my legs, I tried to wriggle, I tried to do everything, and they will do everything in their power to keep on pulling your legs to, and she might cut somewhere she shouldn't cut because you're struggling quite a lot, or you could end up with fractures and dislocations. Death due to severe bleeding, shock, septicemia. As I explained, my cutter didn't come and cut me only and went home that day. She's got 10, 15 other girls to cut, and she uses the same equipment, which means horrific infection can arise that can cause death, called septicemia. Next. Now, long-term complication means how does it affect you for the rest of your life? Now, remember that I had type 3. My urine was horrific. It doesn't come out right. Then you hit something called, puberty, and that's another thing. But when you don't urinate properly, you end up having infection. Remember this. For example, just bear with me what I explain. For example, your index finger. It's like that is your genital, so it's closed up all. You just have a tiny hole at the bottom of it. That means where your clitoris was, where your urethra is, where your wee comes out, and your vagina hole is almost sealed up. You just have a tiny hole. So that means every time you urinate, that urine goes under that skin and comes through the vagina hole. So you end up having non-stop urinary infection. And most of the girls didn't want to go to get help, especially when we came to Western world, which I came in 1989, only 18 years old in UK, a refugee, which I was welcomed so beautifully. Not refugees that nowadays everybody see them as horrible. I didn't want to go to the doctors. I just felt weird, like how are they going to see me? What are they going to think about me? But in the end, I did. I was lucky one that did, because I'm like this, did and got help. But those girls who didn't do that and ended up having prolonged urinary infection ended up having major kidney problems as well. Painful, difficult periods. Now you can't urinate properly. then you get period. Oh my goodness. It takes longer than normal. It can take half the month for you to have a period. It causes a lot of problem. It causes infections that have a power to absolutely destroy your reproductive organs. That means FGM can cause infertile, and it has. And imagine that you come to that stage in your life as a young woman and you want to have a child, and you're told, what was done to you when you were a child has robbed you being a mother. I can never, ever comprehend how that young lady will be feeling. And I have a friend of mine who's very well known, cannot have children because of that. I'm very lucky. I've had kids, but I couldn't see my life. Even when I was younger, I always wanted to have children. But the idea of your right to have a child, should you decide to have one, was taken away before you even reached in that stage of your life, is quite painful. It also causes sexual dysfunction, and sexual dysfunction means you can never, first of all, think anything fun can happen in your genitals. Number one, first of all, you hate your genitals. You hate how it looks. Your clitoris was, all of it on top was removed. You just think anything to do with your genitals is trauma. You can never, ever think it is anything fun can happen, because the minute your genitals were touched, you are left with trauma. And in our communities, we don't talk about sex, yet we have 10, 18 kids. We do not talk about sex. Sex is untalked about. We don't even talk about something simple as period. So women end up not even knowing what the hell is a sexual pleasure. They don't even know that. And it's because I used to work with lots of women. And you can tell every woman wants to have this conversation, but they cannot dare to bring it up. And I'll be the big gobby one that will bring it up. I'll say, let's talk about sex. They're like, oh my God, no. I'm like, hey, how many kids you've got? 5, 6, 7 kids. Clearly, you've had it time. 5, 6. It is so taboo, because the way we grew up, sex doesn't exist. Yes, it's the most important thing. Period, something simple as period, we weren't told. So for me, when a woman tells me, I don't even know what sexual pleasure is, it literally kills me inside. And I will always tell them, how long have you been married? 20, 30 years. I'll be like, divorced bastard, because he knows what sexual pleasure is. He just doesn't know. And our men also are raised never to talk about women's genitals, because they are raised, women belong to you. Her body is yours. You own her. But guess what? You can't talk about her body. It's such a contradictory thing. They're raised with. They feel women are beneath them, so they can't talk about it. Cysts can be caused by periods that are gathered. We have seen in our clinics that women had a cyst, and when the cyst was opened, it was also period, it was pus, and it was also, some of the women had some thorns that were in that cyst, which was quite staggering to see that. And these women didn't go and seek help, because she said, it didn't disturb me, it didn't give me pain. Why do I need to? It comes back to nobody wants their genitals to be seen. Scar formation means your scar is horrific and it never heals 1,000,000%. You always have issues of dryness. You have infection going on. It just keeps on giving. Next. Now, when you're having a child, FGM has a huge impact. First of all, if you manage to run away from your trauma and you kept it behind you, but when you become pregnant, oh my word, does your trauma come alive? Because now you know, number one, professionals are going to see your genitals. Number two, you start to have a happy feeling of like, oh my God, I'm having a child. Yay, me, I'm going to be a mother. You're filled with the joy of motherhood. And then your trauma comes in. Bam! How are you going to have this baby? How are you going to deliver this baby? Where is this baby going to come out? How is it going to come out? Is your baby going to die? What are the professionals going to think of you when they see your genitals? And you start to have issues because of that, because you know your labias are magnificent. They're there to protect you from infections and all that, and they're there to expand when you're having a baby, to help you. And you don't have labias that expand. You have a rigid, horrible scarring. So you're starting to think about the baby. Your baby will die, or I will die. It becomes like you're having a flashback every single day until the day you give birth. It literally becomes that. And some of the women, if they've had type 3, you might be having intimacy, but you might be still, totally, utterly sealed up on top. And that means when your labor begins and this baby hits that skin, it means it's hitting that, seal the skin. And that is called, it can cause a possible obstructive labor. That can happen as well. In 1990s UK, they had something called fetal asphyxia. And it wasn't the doctor's, fault. This was women who did not want to say what they are and went to the hospital when they were about to deliver. And by the time doctors tried to figure out how to deliver these women safely, some of them lost the baby, and they said it was due to oxygen starvation. I have to say, we have worked tirelessly with our NHS health service. Nobody's losing babies, and mothers are delivered safely. Perineal tears are horrific. Scars do not tear properly. Scars tear in many directions, and it's evil. When I had my first son, it took me 7 months to heal up. It did. It's horrific. And in developing countries, women maternal death rate is huge. Unreported maternal death rate is huge because communities, when a woman dies during birth, they just, go and bury her, and they will say it's God's will. They never say it's to do with anything FGM. But the worst thing about that is they know she died because this baby couldn't come out, or this baby came out, and it rips everything, and she ends up with something called fistula, which is she can't control her urine, or she can't control her poo, and which means she's segregated from community. They take away her baby, and they call her all sorts of names, and if she's not repaired really quick, she could end up with major other health issues. Now think about this happens to you when you're a child, and the repercussion is for the rest of your life. Flashback during labor, as I explained, as I said, if you were running away from your trauma all your life and you did a good job of that, when you become pregnant, it's there with you. And I remember when I had my first baby, I couldn't speak English. I had the labor pains. I went to the doctors. And those days, they didn't even ask you. They just, restrained your legs and they opened you up. And I remember that when the midwife saw me, she freaked out. And I was already freaked out because I'm thinking, I already have these issues. She's going to see me. She's going to freak out, and she's freaked out. I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to die. That's all I could think about. My baby's going to die. I am going to die. And all of a sudden there was doctors in and out of my room, nurses, and my legs are still, wide open. And it was like, I felt like I was an animal in a zoo, and I don't know where I went because everybody in that room, I pictured them like my cutter. And I just thought, the cutter has multiplied. The woman who cut me has multiplied in my room, and I had to close my eyes. The only time I actually knew I gave birth is when I had my son scream. And I remember when they put him on my hands, I just remember feeling this calm. And I just kept on talking to him. You saved my life. Thank you for giving me purpose. And I was in tears. He had such a beautiful black mop hair, and I just kept on kissing him. And it took me 7 months to heal up from that. It took me 7 months to heal up. It was horrific. Mental health issues with it is massive. In our communities, we don't understand what mental health is. Even I didn't understand before. I thought if anybody mentions mental health, they think you're crazy. They're going to label you that. But we don't understand about, the depression. We don't understand about the anxiety, all those things that come with depression. Even I didn't know that until I went to a therapist, which we never believe in therapists. It took me months to trust and to talk. And I was told I was in a very deep dark depression because I normalized pain. Simple as that. I normalized everything because my mother didn't complain. Any female that I knew didn't complain about this. Everybody just went on as normal. Relationship issues, we've seen women who've been actually beaten up by their husbands because they did not want to have intimacy. And he was like, I own you. You will have intimacy. And we've seen women who've been divorced because the husband says she doesn't enjoy intimacy and he left her. Any survivor on earth, you ask, have you forgiven your mother, including me? I will say yes, because my mother, where she was, I'm from Somalia. I'm going to be 55 this year, October. And almost every single one of us was cut. And in that setting, she did cut me, and I will explain in next slides, there would have been repercussions following that. And my mother isn't alive with us. She passed away almost 21 years ago. I have one huge wish. I wish she was here today to see me, what I have become, what kind of a woman I am, and to see her reaction would have been absolutely marvelous. Next one. So why do they cut girls? Everybody's burning with this, I know. Why do they cut girls? Well, communities have different views on why, but I can tell you, it all boils down to controlling women and girl sexuality. It's simple as that. When they say it brings status and respect to the girl, it means the girl is a commodity. It means the dowry is high. It means if they cut their daughters, she'll be considered to be clean and virgin and all those things. It preserves girl virginity and chastity. This is my community purely. They say, we're removing the clitoris because it makes you sexually insatiable. You will cheat when your husband is not there. Basically, what they're saying is clitoris is evil, so we're removing that. So they want to numb your sexual libido. That's what they're doing. And then they're sealing you up so that you do not dare to have sex before marriage. It's a rite of passage to womanhood. It gives girls social acceptance. This is what I was talking about with my mom when I said if she didn't cut me, there would have been problems. Now, if she didn't cut me, I wouldn't have married in my community back in Somalia. They would have said, whispered a lot of horrible things, like she's not a virgin, she's not clean, she's this and that. Basically, socially, you will be dead to that community. But because I was cut socially, I am very much accepted. And that means I actually have a power to change my family's finance, which means dowry can be so high. It cleanses and purifies girls. It gives girls and her family sense of belonging to a community. It can be identity for certain communities as well. Next. It fulfills a religion requirement. We'll come back to that. It perpetuates custom and tradition. In some people, this is part of their, it's like an identity again. All these things, it's, it helps women and girls to be clean. How removing our labias makes us clean and hygiene. Our labias are a protection and everything else. So it doesn't make sense. In some community, they believe if they don't remove the clitoris and a mother is pregnant, when she gives birth, if the baby head touches the clitoris, she dies or the baby dies. So there's a superstition attached to that one. It rids family of the bad luck as well. So they have all sorts of reasons, but it boils down to controlling women and girls' sexuality. Next. So procedure always takes place during summer. Summer holidays, we call it cutting season. Why do we call it cutting season? Those 6 weeks holidays are most likely when a girl would be subjected to FGM. And it's most likely that they will be taken out of the country they're in. Mostly when they're in Western world, they take them somewhere else. And if the mother, for example, I'll give you, I've been in this country for more than 35 years. My English is self-taught. I knew the minute I arrived in this country, I want to be part of it. I wanted to know the history. I wanted to build my life here. And I knew I need to be functioning part of society. But there are women who've been that long, can't say one word English. It's their kids who are translating. Now that kind of a woman will stay in the community mob mentality hub. And that means if she discloses in that hub that, I didn't cut my daughter, she gets segregated, she gets named, she gets shamed, she will be bullied for her to cut that girl because she doesn't know what else to do. Or if there's 3 or 4 girls in that family, the first cut, most definitely the 2 little ones are in danger. Grandmothers as well our grandparents carry a very huge power in our family life. If a grandmother says this girl needs to be cut, even if the mother doesn't want to cut, she most likely will give in because the grandmother is insistent on that completely. And they disguise this procedure as you becoming a woman. What does a 6-year-old me know what a woman is? But it's the way they say it. I hated the word woman. I hated the word brave when I was growing up because I associated them with my trauma. Until I understood, I always associated with my trauma. Next one. So FGM is present in 92 countries. People always think it's African thing, it's a black skin thing. It's not. There are girls who have got blonde hair, blue eyes. They come from Chechnya, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru. They come from Iran, Iraq, Turkey. They come from Saudi. They come from all over the world. FGM is not exclusive to one continent. It is happening now everywhere in the world, and United Nations has classed it as a worldly problem. So please don't ever think it's an African thing. It isn't. It's happening in your doorstep in Germany. It's happening here in UK because of the migration and diaspora communities, but it's also in Western world. Vagina design, all those things is FGM as well. Next. Okay. Forget about this one. This one's for the teachers. I would say if a girl is cut, if you've got a teacher in the audience, if a girl is cut, how would I know? 6 weeks holiday is not enough for this girl to heal up. Even if she's had type 1, she'll having problems sitting down or standing too long. Parents will tell them not to do anything, you know, to stress your legs. Parents will be very, very open with them and tell them, if you say anything, I will go to jail. So these kids love their parents. They will never, ever say what happened to them. So a child never asks you help, but a child always gives clues. If you're a teacher, follow the cues. Don't put the clues that this child gives you as, they come from this community. Maybe they're like this. Maybe the children are like this. No, children are wired the same way globally. If there is a trauma, they will give you clues. Don't ever ignore that clues. Next. So FGM is not in Quran, Torah, Bible, anybody book or beliefs. It actually predates religion. That means it was before religion, but it's practiced by Muslim, Christian, Jews, and non-believers. So it's never, ever, ever religion requirement. It's either tradition or cultural practice, whoever is doing that. But I do know countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, they disguise it as a religion requirement, but it's not in anybody book of belief. Next. So that is me. I hope I gave you so much information on FGM today, and that's my book that I've been translated to a few other languages. And I wrote this book back in 2016, and it has been a great book, become an educational book, especially in UK for midwifery societies. I hope I've given you a lot. Take a few minutes to digest what I said and ask any questions you have. And this is our charity. Please follow us. Please become a donor. We love to have people donate to us, because this work I do is not an easy work. Emotionally, psychologically, physically, and financially, it's demanding work. And I've dedicated my life to it. So please be part of that. This is a global movement. This is an issue for all of us. It's a human rights issue. And you all need to be part of it. It doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter what my religion is. What's important is we share womanhood and humanityhood. And that should be the factor for all of you to support. Thank you. And that is a QR code that you can go straight to us and be part of, be with us.
Leave that up for a while, please, Ms. Lang. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I actually need a minute. It was a lot of information, and actually I cannot possibly imagine how you would be able, after this kind of thing happening to you, I cannot possibly imagine how you can recover from that and have a healthy relationship by any means. I cannot imagine wanting anybody near me. Just imagine, let alone have kids, and more than one.
Yeah, it takes a great person to be in your life and to understand your trauma and you to be able to actually let the guard down and see, to make you feel like you're a human being. Because I used to think that I wasn't fully a woman. I felt like bits of me were missing. I must be freak of nature. Well, I met somebody who changed all that for me and made me see that I am a human being, no matter what I was done to. I am a woman and I am a human being. And I think it took me a long time to accept that. And it is horrific. It's a horrific trauma, really horrific trauma. Yeah.
Hibo, can I ask a very, 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 very private question?
Yes, go for it.
I know what the slide said about removing clitoris and labia. So you know that the clitoris is responsible for sexual pleasure in us women.
Yeah.
Do you feel sexual pleasure or physically?
The thing about that was you really need to learn to love your body again. And that means you need to go and get lots and lots of therapy for you to reacquaint with your body, to see your body is not only trauma, your body is actually amazing. And you can get sexual pleasure, but it depends on how open you are to therapy. I am somebody who got lots and lots of therapy, and I came to the point where I accepted who I am, I accepted my body, and to unlocking that part of your brain is the most difficult part of everything. To think that you can feel pleasure, it's the hardest part to achieve, but it's not unachievable. So with lots and lots of work through therapy, you can feel sexual pleasure again.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I think ET engineer has a question, if I get that right. Yeah, nein, vielleicht?
I can't see him. Engineer? Du hast eine Frage? Dein Mikro ist noch zu. Dein Mikro ist noch verschlossen. Wir hören dich nicht.
I bet this is not how you knew of FGM, did you? I did say I will tell you everything.
Da ist er. There he is.
Ja, Entschuldigung, ich habe noch keine, ich bin noch geschockt. Meine Frage wäre, wie kann man das unterbrechen? Also, das muss doch verhindert werden. Ich habe keine Frage auf Englisch, Entschuldigung.
Ist nicht schlimm, wir können übersetzen.
He is shocked. He's still shocked and he doesn't know how to describe.
Yeah.
And asked this question in English, but how can we stop that? It has to be stopped.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. I think education, for me, the biggest thing that I do is educate, especially our youth. They are the ones to end this nightmare, not the older ones, the youth in school. It has to be part of school. And I'm so grateful to UK government because they did listen to us. It's part of the school. They're teaching the secondary school students from the age of 11. They are being taught, which I think they might have already gone by then because it's under the 10 that it takes over 90% of the girls being cut. Education is so important, and I think it's our youth that we need to reach out to put all the efforts into them, to make them aware of what this is, because even if a parent dares to tell them that this is going to happen to them, they will explain as it's a little tiny cut, very tiny cut, which means it's not going to be that bad because she normalized her own pain. She thinks her child should normalize the pain too. So for me, education is so important. Raising awareness is so important. Engaging policymakers, engaging people who got power, for example, like, education, health department. We all need to work together.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hat das die Frage beantwortet?
Yes, okay, thanks.
Good, okay. Hibo, a question from YouTube. Emira asked, if there is a chance to ask a question, I'd like to know how things are going in terms of working within the communities where this is prevalent. Are there organizations managing to change attitudes?
In UK, there's lots of organizations that are working with communities, including us. We engage women from all over the world that live in UK, Gambia, Somalia, Eritrea, everywhere. We work with women. And I think that is also a very, very, very important part of the work, working with the community. I would say the community itself is the number one that we need to engage, but it's such a hard thing to do because community very much are tight on each other. they think us, somebody like me talking about FGM is like I'm bringing shame, I'm bringing, you know, unwanted attention to the community. Yet our women are suffering when they're giving birth, suffering so bad. And knowing that this is in store for your own daughter, I can never reconcile on how these women think that way. But yeah, community work is the heart of the work as well. But there's a lot of work in UK. I don't know about Germany.
I know there are groups here in Germany, but I was hopeful that you might, or someone might know a bit more about Germany than I do. It's actually a bit of a disaster that I don't know it. But there is a question by Claire McWilliams. Hello.
Hello, you'll recognize my voice, no doubt.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I do. I was going to ask, goodness me, what a story. Thank you so much. I was going to ask, are there ways, maybe not with 3 to 5, but are there ways to reverse this? And also, how do I connect with women in my community where I know they're in communities that would possibly practice this? How do I maybe do that? Especially as a white woman, but we have a very mixed community here. So I was just wondering how maybe to reach it.
Yeah, first of all, in terms of reversal, there's something called defibrillation. Can you all see my picture? Can you see me? Can you?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put my finger up. Now, defibrillation means because you're sealed up, all that is sealed up, you just have a tiny vagina hole. What doctors can do in UK under the NHS, which is our National Health Services, is free, is to open that up. And that means they tuck in edges, expose where you're supposed to be, your urethra and your vagina hole is normal. That relieves you. That relieves you in terms of urinating and having your periods. So that can be done here in UK and it's free everywhere, National Health. But what UK hospital can't do is reconstruct your labias and your clitoris, and they can't do that. Second question answer is, one thing that you can ask these women, don't class yourself as a white or anything. You're a woman. Remember that. You are a woman. You're part of them. Ask the question of, what was it like giving birth? That is one question that opens all the conversation. You ask a woman, what was it like giving birth? What was your experience? Boy, if she's undergone type 3, she will tell you everything that happened to her. And that is a conversation starter, which means you start that conversation. It means work follows. It means engagement. It means it opens many, many, many other doors that this woman never thought possibly would be opened. So ask that question. Bring them in. Have tea, coffee. They love that. Chin work. Talk. And just say, what was it like giving birth? Ask that question, because that is a great conversation opener.
Thank you so much, Hibo.
Okay, we have another question from YouTube. Eco asks, what are the clues girls give? I mean, we had it on the slide, but maybe you want to repeat?
What did he say?
Someone was asking, what are the clues girls give?
Well, the clues are, first of all, do they have sisters in these girls? Do they have older sisters who've been cut? Is her mom cut? That doesn't necessarily mean the mom is going to cut her daughter, but it depends on what sort of surrounding she has. Because as I said earlier, if she's still surrounded by community mob mentality that never evolved, even if they lived here 40 years, that is a girl that was in danger, because they wholeheartedly believe in order to maintain her virginity, she needs clitoris removed and she needs to be sealed up. So that is a major player. It depends on how open as well this family is. It depends on if they are predominantly cut in communities as well. There's a lot of clues, but it is all to do with the mother.
Okay, someone said on YouTube that in North Rhine-Westphalia / North Rhine-Westphalia, there is a non-profit organization called Stop Mutilation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can set up something.
Yeah, Why not? Absolutely. It's a global problem. The more globally we get connected, the more we'll make, what do you call it, a lot of advances in ending this nightmare.
And someone put in information, Inge put information here that since September 2013, FGM is Straftatbestand. Help me. Is not offense.
It's a criminal offense.
Criminal offense, okay?
In Germany?
In Germany, and can lead to 6 years, up to 5 years.
Germany, they need to make it. German, they need to make it part of the education, because UK, they made a part of education under the PHSC. We've got something called, it's a drop day where school will have one drop day where they're talking about all sorts of things. They're talking about LGBTQ related issues. They're talking about forced marriage. They're talking about FGM. I mean, like, kids are exposed to all sorts of information. I don't know if German have that, and you have a huge communities there, just like UK. So for me, it's very, very important that these kids, and especially the girls, are aware of this, and the boys are learning about what happens to the girls. And it's not only that, that education, they take it back home, and the discussions that will never ever happen starts to happen, because they will ask questions to their parents. So you are educating the kids, but you're also opening conversation back home.
I just want to give you a quick in Germany, the number of FGM, girls that happens to has been increasing since 2017. Interestingly enough, it's approximately between 2,785 and 14,752. What a difference. Okay, we don't know, basically, who live in Germany and have been mutilated.
Globally is over 230 million women and girls who've undergone FGM, and every single day is more than 11,000 girls mutilated globally. I give you an example. UK, we have a figure which is 174,000 women. Do you know how we found this figure? Through the pregnancy route. We don't even know the real number that's out there. It's only those women who are giving birth. Imagine the staggering number. I do know in the whole of Europe, they say there's over 500,000 women and girls that they think they've undergone FGM.
But if it's forbidden, you wonder how that still happens. I mean, there must be doctors.
Take them out of the country. They take them out of the country during the school holidays and take them and then bring them back. Yeah,
and they apparently do it in Germany. I mean,
UK. We used to rally the police and everybody do something. And they used to say it doesn't happen either. Then there was a 3-year-old who was cut here, and she was taken to my actually local hospital bleeding. She was saved. She's about 7 today. Mother was sent down for 14 years. Midwives that I work with will tell you, I have delivered a 28-year-old, 25-year-old, never left UK, but have type 3. Of course she has type 3. They cut them here. They protect themselves. Very much communities protect themselves. They will die for each other. They will never tell of each other.
But then that's what I don't get, Hibo. If there are so many children, girls affected, and there are groups who talk about it. I know in Berlin there's a group as well. I used to be in it, but I didn't have the stomach to see it through. Honestly, I mean, I was younger and I just couldn't. And it must stop. It has to stop. But how?
Education.
Women, education. But that is very slowly, isn't it? That's a very, very slow process.
I think in terms of the school, it's not slowly, because you are teaching young girls who haven't heard of it before, because their parents will never discuss this even exists in their community. I'll give you an example. I went to a school where there was a mix. This was 16-year-old to 17-year-old, and I taught FGM, and this boy came to me and he said, "You're lying. This does not happen in our community. My mother never said." I said to go talk. That evening, he sent me the most emotionally charged email ever, because his mother was amazing. His mother told him she was cut, but she also disclosed that her cutter was a man, and he was fuming that it was actually a man who touched his mom's genitals. So this conversation is very, very important, because he have a little two sisters, which he said he will die for them, and his mom promised him she will never touch their daughters because she suffered a lot. Education is so important. Education makes these youngsters question their parents, and it also gives them a tool to protect themselves, because they will know if this is going to happen to them, how to go and seek help. So it's very important.
AP?
Of course, I don't doubt that. I just see AP, just 1 second. I just see you putting your hand up. Everybody here on the panel, you can, in the, like listening, you can raise your hand and speak. So no problem there. Just raise your hand and then you can ask questions yourself. AP.
Yes, thank you. So some people say that type 1, if only the foreskin from is circumcised or is cut away, that this form is not harmful at all and shouldn't be considered endangerment.
Okay.
So what could you, or what would you recommend to answer to those people?
Do you know people who say that? I am sick of them, to be honest with you. Do you know why? Are you telling me, we all know that the clitoris have got thousands of nerves attached to it. No matter how little you cut of it, you are damaging something that is healthy. You are causing a damage. And for somebody to say it's just a little cut, let's peel your eye, your eyelids. Let's peel them. Let's see how that feels. It's just a little peel, but just let's see it. It's for me, what incenses me, makes me angry, is they make an excuse. Sensitive area of our genital, most sensitive area is the clitoris. It has thousands of nerves, and you want to touch it for what reason? What reason do you want to even cut a little bit? It's to control our sexual libido. So it does cause, harmful, no matter how it was cut. It does. Some people complain, some women complain they're overly sensitive because they were done that little cut that the person that just talked about. It does affect. When somebody explains to you it's just a little cut, it doesn't. It's not your clitoris, so you can't make judgment on that.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Any more questions to Hibo?
I think I stunned people. They can't talk anymore. The midwives with NHS are most likely. Somebody was writing something long. What did they wrote? Some midwives
within the NHS are more likely to judge those women, especially if they have daughters, rather than offering support, empathy, and understanding for their struggle. Instead of addressing the issue directly, they immediately sent an email to the FGM midwife asking her to come and speak to the women. These midwives are unwilling to learn about it themselves, which is just frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Yerma.
This is why we teach so much midwifery in UK. I think I've become the darling of midwifery because I go to the universities, I fill in the gap because they're only taught about the genitals. That's it. They're not taught about how to help, how to talk to these women, how to make these women don't transport out of your own, birthing, because I did, and I never wanted anybody to transport out of their birthing. And I teach a lot, and one of the things that I teach about is like I tell to them, actually, you don't need to know my language, and I don't need to know your language either. But there is a humanity language. So what is a humanity language is, I'm going to look at your body gesture, your eyes, your hands, how you're looking at me when you talk in your language. What does that tell me? Are you showing me humanity? Are you showing me ignorance? Are you showing me discriminative? What are you doing? All those things count, and they make a difference to me, because when a woman is cut, even if she's had type 1, she will have that trauma come back, because again, you don't see as you're giving birth, you see as trauma taken between your legs. So it is so important that those midwives that are there when the woman is the most vulnerable state, to understand how to help is so important.
Yeah, Belfast just wrote, I can't imagine the pain. The clitoris is so sensitive. To think about acidic urine pouring over that wound is horrendous. Absolutely, absolutely. And I still cannot fathom that it's possible to have any kind of sexual relationship. Not because of shame, but because of
I
pain.
understand. I tell you, a lot of women, they will tell you, and it's very heartbreaking, they will tell you, I'm just a dutiful wife. I do what I'm supposed to do. That's it. That's it. They completely, utterly checked out of their own body. They checked out of their own body. And it's really, really sad to see that. And to change that, it takes somebody too willing to change. And as I said, in our communities, we grew up with, hide this, hide your breast, hide your body, hide your this. So we can never even utter the word vagina in our language. It doesn't exist. Yet it's the most sought after. Yet we are damaged to keep it clean and virgin for the, future husband. It's quite surreal. But a lot of women have checked out of their body because they can't even dare to think that you are actually made to feel sexual, to feel and enjoy your body. It's God-given right. They don't even think of it that way. They think of it as, I'm doing my duty and that's it. I'm having a child, motherhood, enough for me. I don't care about anything else. That's it for them.
Oh God, that's so painful. It's so bloody painful.
Yeah.
Hibo, I have a question.
Yeah.
I think you have 7 children. Is that correct?
Oh yes, I've got knackered vagina. Yep.
No, I'm just asking because you said your first birth of your first son was so
yes. And you're thinking, how did I have 6 more?
No, actually, I was hoping that you will tell us that every other birth was easier.
My first child was traumatic birth. As I said, it took me a long time to heal up. Second time when I became pregnant, I started to develop problems early on because I kept on thinking, I'm going to definitely die this time. I am going to die. And I ended up hospitalized from the 24th week to 35th week. And in between them, they were telling me I was having such a high blood pressure. My brain pressure was high. I couldn't even look at this. Something felt like something was literally behind my eyes. I had constant headache. So what they used to do is to do lumbar puncture every other day. Every 2 days, they will make my eyes go blind, took me down to the scan to see how my brain pressure is. It was a nightmare. And in the end, 34th week, they decided I couldn't continue this way. And I had a C-section. And then after that, I got petrified, didn't become pregnant for 5 years. And then I decided I want to have a girl because I had 2 boys. And I became pregnant, and thank God that pregnant was safe. But this time, my local hospital knew what I was. I could speak English. I could talk for myself. And I got delivered safely. But still, again, because of my scarring issues, it always took longer to heal. But yeah, I was a crazy woman that had 7 kids, but I wouldn't change it for the world. They're the most beautiful, beautiful bunch of kids. They're grown-ups now, but my youngest is going to be 18 in January, and they are my biggest cheerleaders as well. They are. I'm very proud.
I just wanted to ask, do they work with you? Do they support you?
They support me 100%, and they all have their own work things going on. One is a doctor, one of my daughters is a chemical engineering, finished Imperial College. The other one is literally, as we speak now, she's in Glasgow. She's got chosen. She's a PhD doctorate. She's becoming a PhD doctorate. So she wrote about FGM as a research, and that is going to be published by the university. And she's in Glasgow to show something else she's written. She dedicates her work to me, as she thinks of the children when I was a child. What was it like? So she's dedicated her life to be helping children. So they are all sort of doing their own way to contribute to humanity.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's worth it in the end. I mean, like going through this pain, right?
Do you know what makes it even for me sweeter is knowing that this horrific practice in my bloodline, it dies with me. My future generation from my bloodline will never know it. That makes me feel great. That drives me even to work harder for other girls and, save them. And it's all about that for me. It's all about giving voice to voiceless me and millions of other women who are today my age still can't talk about it. It's all about their voice. That's why I'm such a relentless person when it comes to talking about this. I have to be relentless. I have to use that pain I have to create a change. It's a tool. It's a tool for me. And I don't mind using it indiscriminately around the world to make people stop, listen, understand, and don't make this as a problem that's away from me, away from my culture, away from my country. It's not. It's a humanity issue. And it should all touch us and do something about it.
Yes, sir.
Hibo, do people in London recognize you when you walk the streets? And not only because of your dance moves.
Oh my God, I give you an example. I was walking with a young man who's talking about this issue, and we met in central London, and Faiza was with me and a friend of mine. And I was walking, and all of a sudden on Twitter, I see my picture, Hibo Wardere, I just saw you walking, and I'm thinking, what? Why you didn't come and say? I do get recognized, especially on the train, which is the most funniest. You will see somebody looking at you, and I'm thinking, okay, should I say something? They're looking at me, or shall I not say? And I have this issue where I just take out my phone, pretend I'm looking at my phone, but my eyes still looking somehow. And when they get off the train, and this happens all the time, oh my God, Hibo Wardere, I love you so much. You're amazing. And I'm like, I love you too, but why you didn't say hello earlier? I could have talked to you. I get recognized for my work quite a lot in UK, in terms of UK, yes. But it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling when people tell you, stop you on the street and tell you, I love your work, I love what you do. It just makes my soul dance even more.
Do you experience negative reactions from people?
Do I experience negative reactions? I don't think I can function without the negative, to be honest, Nisa. I really can't. It's like I'm so used to getting some sort of abuse on social media. I don't have a Facebook. I closed my Facebook 2 years ago because the deluge of everyday, horrific things, I couldn't handle it. I just deleted that. But I don't get it on Instagram and on Twitter. I really don't. And that's the best thing that I've ever done, is close the Facebook down. But you do get those who look at you when you're walking on the street, up and down with a dirty look, because in your gut feeling, they know who you are. So you do get that. But I'm so used to that. It's like, if I don't get attacked in a month, I'm thinking, where the hell are you? Come on out. I need to know what you're saying. But it's like, it's not as much as it used to be. It's dying down quite considerably right now.
I have another question. You mentioned earlier that the women often don't think that they have the right to feel sexual pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think how would you rate the knowledge of the women about their own bodies in general? Not.
Oh my God, we know nothing about our bodies. Oh my God, we know nothing about our bodies. We are raised to be told you need to be clean, you need to smell nice, and you need never to say no to your husband. Your house has to be clean. You are never taught anything about you as a human being. I used to ask this question to myself, what am I? Like, don't I exist? Don't I, nothing. They don't talk about sex. They don't talk about period. They don't talk about nothing. They just tell you need to be a good wife. You need to be clean. You need to be, it's like you just don't exist. You really don't exist. You exist for the future husband, for his needs, for you being a baby factory, for all that. It's like they consider that to be respect. And I'm thinking, no, respect is not like that. Respect is much more than that. Where's my needs? Why are you not asking? You know your wife isn't having sexual pleasure. Why are you not talking about she is your wife? Why can't you not discuss this? They will never discuss it because it's not in their nature. They were not told to do that. They were not programmed to do that. They were programmed that this is your wife, you're baby producing factory person. You're going to have, of course you're going to love her, but you're not going to talk about her body and what happens between you two. It's never been talked. That is no issue to talk about your bedroom habits. None of them would talk about that.
There's another question from the YouTube. What, if any, backlash has Hibo had to face as a result of her campaigning, and how has she dealt with that?
One thing I'm grateful. I am so grateful I live in UK, because I don't think if I lived back home, I would be even here talking this way. I couldn't. I'll be hunted and something awful happening to me. So I am so glad I'm in UK. I have a loving family and friends around me, and I can report if anybody comes towards me. I can report. So I am very, very in a safe space. And of course, sometimes when people constantly attacking you, it can get under you. They can say awful things about your girls because you didn't cut them. That can affect you. I always go to my therapy who I have a speed dial on. If I feel like today was too heavy, I need to speak, I do that. I am somebody who has developed ways to support myself. And if I think I have been talking a lot about FGM this week, I need to give myself a 1 or 2 day off, I do that. So I've learned how to listen to my body, my head, and my heart, and go accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is very important, isn't it? I think we could all do with a bit of that self-preservation.
We need to listen. Body, heart, and mind. We need to listen when it is time to stop, time to just take a breath, and time to just not do nothing. And for me, I've learned that even if I need to just sit somewhere and wail myself to oblivion, just cry nonstop, I do that. That's just my way of getting rid of all the negativity that I have.
Yeah, I was wondering. We were talking before. It's self-ID laws. What concerns me with this is the self-ID laws in England, and even worse in Germany. The self-ID law that was passed is one of the most horrendous in the world. So I wonder, is there a connection? Does it have an impact on FGM in any way? Or
you know what? I think when I hear these kind of things, I'm thinking this is a luxury that people have. It's actually a luxury to have to say, I want to do this. I want to self-ID into this. Imagine women from our community and the girls, they can't do that. They can't self-ID into anything. They can't do anything like that. And when I hear things like this, I'm thinking, what a what a fucking, a lucky bastard that you are, that you're allowed to do that and then invade other people that you shouldn't be invading. So for me, it's like, we don't have that luxury. We do not have that luxury. I consider that to be a luxury. It's ridiculous to think that in Africa or in Middle East or in all those other countries, part of the world, that women don't even have a right to vote. Forget about, doing anything like that. They don't even have a right to vote. Imagine what kind of a life they have. And you have a life that you can actually just take a piece of paper and say, well, I'm not this and that. It's a luxury. It really is a luxury to have that.
Yeah, and what I find most obnoxious is that they actually pretend to have period pains and stuff like that. I wonder when they will come along and say, I've been mutilated. It's just a matter of time.
They have. There's a lady who took my book in New Zealand and actually put my book in her essay by saying she got mutilated. And my question to her was, you got mutilated, how? I said, you made a decision as an adult to remove your genitals. You wanted to change yourself. That's your decision. Don't say that I was mutilated like Hibo Wardere. Hibo Wardere was 6 years old, didn't give a consent, didn't know what was happening to her. You were adult. You made that decision. You went there. You paid for it. You got psychological support. You got emotional support. You were actually enabled to self-harm yourself. And you're using my book by saying that you were, and I was always few years back, like during the COVID and after, and even now and then, I get people who tell me, oh, you're discriminative. We are mutilated. We are women too. Excuse me, no. Where I come from, you're not a woman. I'm really sorry, but you're not. And you're not going to make me believe that. And what I fight for got nothing to do with you. Yeah, you're an adult. Nobody mutilated you. You made that choice. Don't mix up with something that you made a choice for to something that people don't have choice. They don't even know this is happening to them. The innocent girls who are unassuming, trusting everything. You make that decision as an adult, or your parents make that decision for you. It's got nothing to do with FGM. And I keep repeating that over and over. Not so much so lately. I think they left me alone for a bit now because I stuck to my guns. I was like, nope, sorry, nope, you're not. Don't bring your issues to my issue. There's two separate issues. Keep yours and I keep mine.
Okay, I'm going. I read actually that self-ID law in Germany will be abused in order to perform FGM on girls, but I don't remember exactly how it was supposed to be abused. But if I find it, I will share it with you.
What is the consent age in Germany? What is it?
To what?
Like in here in UK, a child cannot make decisions like that unless they're over 18. Under 18, no one can do that. Anything like that to them.
It's the same in Germany, but when it, for example, comes to sex, we have 16, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy how the world is
we
just
have
so cruel.
14.
14 even. Okay.
Yes.
But what you're talking about having sex or
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, sex.
self-ID, okay. Because the law has changed. The parents can change the child's sex as from the day they were born. And they can, yes. And they can, at the age of 5, they can consent. And yes, at the age of 14, they can have their sex changed, as in taking drugs and having a legal guardian, no? If the parents object. It's horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous.
Oh wow. That's wild.
This is one of the reasons why they changed.
That's wild. That's crazy. 14-year-old is a child still experimenting with their own sexuality and all that. How do you say it's okay if they say I want to go there and say, okay, go do it? You don't know that. They're still children.
Hibo, what they're doing is, and what they have done is, they changed it in the European law and in the DSM to a sexual health issue. So they are working on the idea of Gaelic competence and the Fraser guidelines. This will happen in the UK too. So 14-year-olds here, it is under the age of consent, which is 16. But if you have a child and they want to go for the likes of contraception, if they are deemed to be Gillick competent, that runs under sexual health. And so that's why they've changed that law. That's why they've changed to sexual health, so that they can say that if a child cannot agree, then you are questioning their Gillick competence. So I think it has been very strategic why they've done this.
So they're calling it child, yet they are making monumental decisions that will have impact on their life, but they're calling it child, but they're letting them make that decision. Doesn't that contradict itself?
Well, yeah, they tend to call it, I call it child if it's 14. If the person is 14, I would call them a child.
You know what? I do believe in future to come, you will see a lot of children that have become grown up, knowing that they will let this do to their bodies, literally going after the government. I hope they do, because they are children. They are children. How do you, oh my God. These are men who are making these decisions, isn't it? Everywhere you bloody look is men making these decisions.
Exactly. Can I add that Rona is one of our feminist icons here in Germany. She's on the YouTube channel, and she just wrote, parents can define the sex entry of their babies. So, like when the birth certificate, they can say, okay, it's a boy instead of a girl. So if parents want to practice FGM on their baby girls, they just have to say that the baby girl is a baby boy. This is a loophole.
And they're not questioned how they come to that decision. They're not questioned about that.
No, circumcision on a baby boy.
So the child doesn't have a right at all.
Not until it's 5, and a 5-year-old is broken anyway. So she adds, circumcision on a baby boy is allowed in Germany for religious reasons, and FGM is forbidden. So with this new self-ID law, that might actually be a loophole.
That's what
it's
I was talking
absolutely
about.
dangerous. Yeah.
I hope they will compile the list of the countries that cut girls. I hope they can see the parents might be using this. I hope they do that. I hope they do their work, because they're opening the new can of worms that they don't even know what they're unleashing. That is so dangerous and so cruel. You're robbing a child a life before they even know what they are. When did we come to that sense? Oh my God.
Hibo?
Yeah.
There was a question in the chat by Najma. I hope I said your name right. Are you able to work with Somali community when it comes to GM, like seminars or meeting with women or young girls?
Yes, I do actually. I have a fabulous relationship here, especially in my area. Women are very, very supportive. I brought for them our London deputy mayor. She met them, and the stories they told these women, some of them, you think my one is traumatic. Some of the women, what they disclosed that day, they made Sophie Linden, the deputy London mayor, literally cry. So there are progress going on. Women are coming to their senses. They are seeking help. They are breaking the silence taboo in our community. So there are a lot. And in schools, oh my God. So especially my community, Somali girls and boys, when they see me teach in front of them, and they're like shocked. They literally are shocked, but they love what I do. And all of them will tell you, I will never cut my girls. I will never do this. Education is having a massive impact on our youngsters, and I'm very proud.
Drachenrose?
Yeah, good evening. I think the point is you even don't have to say that your baby girl is a boy girl. You just have to say it's a non-binary girl, a non-binary baby. And then you can do something what it's called nullification. And cut off the outer genitalia of babies. That's a very, very bad point, and I think the government never thought about.
Why is the government not considering about this baby's right? Where is this baby's right?
Because they are driven by their own ideology. Absolutely.
And we have a queer something. He's a man. He's a gay man. He hates us women, and he especially hates Rona. Sorry. And he said when he was confronted with CAS report and also that, for example, the UK backpedaled when it comes to self-ID law, he said, and I quote him, "What happens in other countries is none of our business." So he's very ignorant, and like I said, he hates women. He doesn't listen to us. He doesn't care about us. He's just the usual gay man, in my opinion, who doesn't give a fuck about us.
Do you know what? Isn't it funny that all of our problems are bloody men behind it? Sorry, but not all of them. Most of them are, and it's quite surreal that since the beginning of the dawn of this universe, it's been in charge by men. It's made decision by men. It's always women who pay the price. It's always the children who pay the price. And then you come to countries like this, which you think people are more progressed, more smarter, more open, yet it's more warped mind. Like a parent can decide their child is not a boy or a girl. What the hell? How you do that? How you look at your child and think, I'm not going to consider you a boy or girl. I'm just going to make a decision for you. Where's that child's right? Where's the government protection for this child? Where is their rights? Who's it left their rights to? Because just because a parent gave birth doesn't mean they have a right over this child on what genitals they should have. That's just ridiculous. It is really ridiculous. Every day I get shocked, but I'm not shocked that much nowadays. I'm waiting to see a sheep coming up and saying, I'm a human, accept me all. Meh. Yep.
We've been fighting this for 4 years, Hibo. For 4 years, at least.
It is
And
ridiculous.
now it has passed. Yeah. I think Drachenrose was first. Nissa? Wasn't that Drachenrose? Okay. Then you.
Hibo, do you think that the new Labour government will have a positive impact, or do you think it will have?
Do you know?
Okay.
I wanna have a one wish to meet Sir Keir Starmer, our new Prime Minister. And my question will be, because he can't dare to say women need their own space, he can't dare to say that. It's like I want to ask him, for all due respect, Mr. Prime Minister, when you came to this world, did you come out of the penis hole or vagina hole? Which one was it? Clarify. And then tell me, was it a man or a woman who gave birth to you? Because you have a really hard time knowing what a real woman is. I really want to ask him that question, simple as that. At the moment, he's dancing around women's spaces will be protected, blah, blah, blah. But we don't know the real thing that is coming. We don't know yet. But he still refuses to say women, exclusively women. He still refuses to say that. So we want to see where this goes when he's packed himself in number 10 now. I'm pretty much sure he's having a hot dinner. But I want to see like how he navigates. This is a very, very, very hot topic in UK right now. It really is. Because one of the clinics was closed down. The gender distortion bloody clinic that I call it is closed down because the people who are running it didn't even have the proper qualification they were supposed to have. So that has put the government in a disarray on that topic. So there's a lot of changes coming up. I just want to see if he will say women toilets, simple thing, is a women toilet. Or is it not? So I just want to see what he's going to say.
You can find out that his mother was a TERF.
I want to know which hole did you come out of? Simple. Then you will know which one is woman, because at the moment he's got his wires crossed.
Nissa, sorry, I shut up now.
Drachenrose war dran.
It's fine for me.
Do we have any more questions, or is that it?
No, I don't have any question at all in the very moment. Thank you.
Oh.
I have a question. Do you know of any lesbian women who have been cut, maybe?
Oh yeah, there's a very thriving Somalian lesbian groups, but they're in a hiding. There's men as well who are gay, they're in hiding. They're in hiding because, oh my God. Do you know what is so crazy though? I remember in Somalia, there were certain areas, and I remember my aunt, everybody used to say, that area is a lesbian, that area is a gay. And any man who was cooking and, you know, a little bit of feminine shown, they will say, oh, he's not no man. So all the things that they see here that they pretend it's only exist in Western world, existed in back home too. So, but they are very much in hiding. They really are in hiding. They wouldn't dare show themselves up. Even in Western world, they're afraid. And I wish one day they would just have a freedom to just say who they are and come out and live life. We all deserve to live life no matter what.
If someone is approaching you, please let them know that they are loved and seen, and we are here for them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm a very open person. I talk to anybody who engages me. I never, ever not reply to any messages that I get through social media. And I always encourage, if you want to talk, text me. I promise I'll text you back.
Okay. I actually thought while we were talking that it might be a good idea to get you here to Germany, and I
would love to.
I will stay in contact with you. I will ask on YouTube there is a woman from another organization. She was she agreed to help me, though she wouldn't have had time, but she said, no, I will help you. She's a moderator on YouTube. And she says hello, and I will talk to her. I think that would be a lovely thing to do. Get you here. Let's see how we can do that. We will have to, do fundraiser and stuff like that. But I want to get you. I want to get you over here. Let's stay in contact, and maybe in the beginning next year or something. I don't think that we will make it as quickly as this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
But maybe next year. Yes. Yes. I'm very honored. I feel honored. And I think that's a good idea. I want to have you live here.
Okay. I would love that. I would love that. Absolutely.
So we do that.
Yes.
Is there anybody else? Sorry. Did you want to say any more things that you can think of that you have forgotten? Or?
All I'm going to say is please support each other as women, no matter where you are, no matter what you are, no matter where you live. Reach out, talk, just be supportive of each other. Don't look at what separates us. Look at what makes us come together. It's a womanhood. Respect that and just be there for each other.
Thank you very much. We need that. We need to keep thinking of that. Nisa, is your hand up because you want to say something, or is it still there?
It's back.
Okay. Okay. So, are there any last final questions that anybody? Does anybody want to ask a question? Otherwise, we will just finish now.
Yes.
I want to say something. I'm so grateful, Hibo, that you made or that you spent these 2 hours with us, and it was so enlightening, although it's a very hard topic to talk about, and to actually see how it's performed. And when I did the translation, I actually looked up like labia plastic, and there was a photo of a real woman who has had everything removed, and I was like, I was feeling phantom pain just looking at that photo. So I'm really, like I said, grateful that you took your time to talk to us, to answer questions, to be as open as I got to know you.
I love you. I love you. You're so wonderful, and I'm glad we kept in touch. I'm glad we kept in touch, and I'm glad to be here today. It's always brilliant to share experiences. I think lived experiences and shared is always makes the world better. I believe that.
Thank you so much, Hibo. I really love you too.
Oh, mwah.
Okay, and there's some more from YouTube. The cat has deleted my text, but this was a wonderful talk. Though the issue was very difficult, nice women, nice talk. Thank you very much. And Kata
Thank
says,
you.
I just want to say that he was amazing. Thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you.
And Maud says, thank you. And Rona says, thank you very much. So I
Oh,
think
thank you so much.
I think I got all of them. And well,
Thank you
thank
for being
you.
with us. Thank you for being with us. And Judy, thank you so much for doing this
Yeah.
as well. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to the other lady as well. Thank you to all of you for making this happen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't have dreamt of it 2 weeks ago, and now there it is, our first our first
Yeah,
talk, and I hope there will be more talks to come. I'm
absolutely.
absolutely, yeah, I thank you. I don't know what to say. I'm thrilled, and I'm happy that we will stay in contact and do more
Thank you. Thank you so much.
education.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who has been listening, who has joined us today. And I am absolutely convinced, and that's what keeps happening. There might be if only a few people listening, a few considering how many people there are in the world. But I know that it might, by the end of the week, it might be a different kind of thing. People watch it afterwards, they watch the recording in their own time, especially as this and this a topic is not for everybody to digest like on the fly, if you want. So I'm quite hopeful, and I'm very, very grateful for all the people who have been here in the Zoom, and for all the people who have watched and listened on YouTube and have been active, asking questions and commenting. Thank you very much. I want to point out, you've seen the barcodes or the codes for Hibo's what's it called, charities. So please use them, and on X you will find another one where there are codes for Frauen sprechen, because we need donations occasionally as well. So you will find both on X. Watch out, and it's very easy. You just scan the code, and then you will be led to the funders. Okay, so but honestly, first to Hibo.
Thank you.
She's the main character today, and I'm so pleased. I can't say it often enough. Thank you very much to my co-host and to my mods on YouTube. You've done a brilliant job. Thank you.
You have. Yes, you have.
Yeah, and some of them.
Oh my God, Pfizer was online. Pfizer.
I mean,
so Pfizer is my sister. She's like, we do everything, Pfizer. We get into all sorts of problems. We don't break the law, Pfizer. I'm not saying we do. Pfizer, we work together. She's if you email the charity, Pfizer's the one that gets the email. So she is absolutely what makes the whole charity run, but she will never accept it. But she's brilliant.
It's always the same, isn't it? When you call out people and say, oh, she's so helpful and she's great, and if she wasn't, they always say, nah.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's somebody that it's like I can't function without her. She's that much to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why I say, AP, thank you so much. And thank you to Nissa. Nissa has done the translation on the slide. Thank you very much for that wonderful job. Thank you so much. And Rona, who is just the grande dame in Germany. She's it's lovely when she comes by. Marianne and Sven And who else? L. They were mods on YouTube, and they are always there to support me.
Oh,
You know, and that just looking after the chat is when you do this kind of talk, you need
yeah,
somebody who makes sure that there are no nasty people in the chat who write
yeah, yeah,
awful
yeah,
messages. And I can say I haven't seen any awful message,
yeah.
and I am very grateful for that. Either there were none, which is beautiful, or the mods chucked them out so quickly that I didn't even see them. Wonderful job.
Oh, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for the fabulous work. And I think I had such a lovely time. I really did. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, now we stop thanking each other, because otherwise we'll be sitting here tomorrow.
Yes.
Because we're such nice people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm very happy. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
See you
Bye,
next
Nita.
time.
Love you. Bye bye.